slip when we're getting them onto the truck when it comes. So we're gonna scrape all the manure down, and then we're gonna spread some sawdust on it and get ready to start sorting. So now that we have it all scraped down, we're gonna put some sawdust just up at the far end. This will help them gain footing when getting onto the trailer. So that the concrete isn't too slick. So now that we have the feedlot prepared, we're going to put some fresh feed up here, get some of the cattle to come up this way so they're easier to sort. As you can see, they're all hanging out in the back there, and that makes it a little bit more difficult to sort them. So if we get them up here eating, that'll make it a little bit easier. So we have some of them up here. There's some that we need to sort out. We're trying to keep them all the same frame, smaller frame animal, and same size on this load. It's a difficult decision for us to make, which ones to send, which ones to keep. It's a difficult decision to send any of them, but that's what we need to start to do. Eventually they're all going to have to go, but there's some that just you have memories with more than others, and just seeing them go in the first load is difficult. You know, a lot of these we brought in from the blizzard. We had to dig a trench in and get them brought in because the snow was getting too deep. You'll have to go back and check that video out. I had just worked a long day at the hospital and made my way home. Lots of accidents I could barely see on the way home, and got home and all the cattle were out in the pasture, and we had to get them in because they weren't going to be able to reach the feed, or we weren't going to be able to get feed out to them, so we had to make sure they all got into the barn. And we dug a trench through the snow and we're able to get them back in. Put a link to that video in here. And then there's Maddie. Maddie was a calf that her mom, she was born in the wet, and she wasn't doing well. Her mom tried to take care of her, but it was wet and she was outside and she wouldn't come in. And we had to take a sled and haul her over to the old hoop house on the sled. So Maddie, she's 61 there. We took her in on a sled over to the hoop house and tried to make her a bottle calf. But she must have been allergic to the milk or something. She ended up losing all of her hair. And we thought, well, we'll stop feeding her milk and see how she does, and if she dies, she dies, and if she doesn't, she doesn't. And she was a definition of free-range cow or calf. She just walked around and ate out of the buckets of the other bottle calves and drank out of the other buckets. We had some set aside for her, but she just kind of meandered around, and she made it. She had her first calf this year. That was fun. all these came in, the older ones came in as heifers and we bred them, and so a lot of the ones, well, all the ones that we're sending, we calved here on the farm. Some of them we had to pull, and for me that was an experience in and of itself. Now I didn't have any farm experience before we started this, so learning to pull calves and take care of animals, and the vet came out and taught me a lot on where to give injections, how to give injections, and how to listen to their lungs, make sure they're not sick or their lungs are okay. There's 200, he's going to be going. He's a bull calf that we birthed here on the farm, and his mom didn't make it. A lot of you guys remember a lot of these calves as well, or cows as calves. Some of them you guys named. So he's just looking at the frames, making sure that we get all the same frame type animals. Again, like I said, the original 12 that we started with here on the farm, we're going to keep here for the time being. They're not going in this auction. I think one of my favorite memories is probably, not favorite, but one of my most memorable memories is having the cows out in the feedlot with the one side in tobacco and the other side a feedlot, and having to get them in if we needed to pull them when they were calving. One of the cows that was born out there is Winnie. She's the red one back there in the center. We will be keeping her for now. But she got spooked by something and she ran, and we couldn't find her for probably a day. Ended up she was in the tobacco. That's how she got the name Winnie. We weren't sure if it was a bull or a heifer at the time, and they were going to name him Winston, which is ironically what we named her calf that she just had, Winston. The farmer's trying to get 200 back up. He wants to send him, so we want to try and keep him.
45 can't go. Okay. You're too big. 161. 194? She's not on the list. We're going to put her on the list in case we have to have 10. 61? She's on the light frame side. 23 has a calf, you said? One of them?
Yep, 23 has a calf.
Yep. She's a tag. You're on the heavy frame.
She's just smaller framed.
229?
I think one of the other memorable moments here on the farm was pulling calves, getting all the stuff around to be able to pull them, and first year was a little rough for me, but as the years went on we were able to get everything just working well, where I knew what to grab and how to help, and made it easier. But you know, just even trying to figure out. So we are running them back and forth, thinning out the ones that we don't want to go and letting the ones through that we do. Just trying to get them worked through.
144, stop messing with me.
There we go. Here comes the trailer. So last goodbyes to the cows before they go off to auction. Dodge sounds nice. Alright, so we have it in the right position here. Get it opened. Well, that went well. So those 3 went on very well. Now we're gonna try and get the remaining 10 on. Everybody say goodbye.